Hello and good evening to everyone. I'm Wazim. This is the Guyanese Spotlight Show. It's another Wednesday night. I'd like to welcome each and every one of you, whether you're watching live or will be watching later on our YouTube channel or in my personal Facebook page. Thank you so much for tuning in. As you can tell, I have a couple of beautiful ladies with me tonight. I have Miss Kim Sue from Norman Sue Bakery and Miss Lalita Premsukh from Aaxel Insurance. Kim, since you're to my left and the top of my screen, go ahead, please. Good night and welcome. Thank you so much for joining again.
Well, good evening and good evening and happy New Year to you all. Thank you, Wazim, for having me on the show again. It's quite a pleasure to be here.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks, Kim. And Miss Lalita, good evening and welcome.
Hi, Wazim. Good evening, everyone, to our Facebook Live and YouTube viewers. It is an honor to be a repeated guest on your Guyanese Own Spotlight tonight. And I'm very excited to be here and to be sharing this space with the amazing Sue.
Yes, it's great to have you both. It's great to have you both here. And you know what? When I first reached out to you, I had something in mind. I'm like, we've hardly had women, Guyanese women in business and professionals on in a panel discussion. So this is the perfect opportunity so we can discuss and maybe we can even encourage other women in our community to come on and speak about their professionalism or their business. What do you guys think?
I think it's a great idea. We have so many talented and brilliant minded women who are so successful, but in our community, but some of them are just afraid to come out. I don't know if maybe their husbands don't allow them out or to talk out. Maybe they'll get into trouble. When they're at work, it's a different thing, but when they're at home, so I don't know. Maybe. I don't have a husband, so I could talk anytime.
I don't want to say anything. I'll get in trouble.
Yeah, no one's getting into trouble tonight. I would say that perhaps women are maybe camera shy. Their confidence levels are not quite up, but don't give up on us. Like keep asking your clientele of Guyanese owned business women to come on and maybe ask them 3 times. If they say no the first and second time, ask them for a third time. And you're an amazing coach to coach them through it. Maybe prep them with some questions ahead of time so it's better. And let's give more exposure to all these wonderfully successful ladies from Guyana.
But I also want to applaud you, Wazim, and maybe in trying to get them on board. It's like what you've done this evening with pairing Lalita and myself up. Because if they're paired up with someone else that they're familiar with and so forth, it may be a bit easier for if they're camera shy, maybe a bit easier for them to come out and speak. I know my sister and my partner, we've done a few interviews with college students and so forth. And she's not much of a speaker. She's great at what she does because she runs a business with me. But she's very camera shy, like Lalita says. And so usually she comes along with me and I try to encourage her to speak. So when I actually was inviting her to come out with me tonight, she goes, no, you always do a good job. I'm not there yet. But like I said, if you pair them up with likes or even like, okay, so Lalita is in insurance, I'm in food industry. So, you mix it up so that they can talk with one another. You're not talking about the same thing, both of them. So no one feels like they're in a competition, per se.
Exactly.
It's a good idea.
Exactly. And thanks for the words of advice. I'll use those tips and try to get more women in the community. Come out, please. Come on, join me here, and we can have a conversation. You see, the show is based on giving a voice to your flyers and your online promotions. We all see the flyers, we all see the online, your business cards and everything. But the reason being behind the Guyanese Spotlight Show is to give a voice to that flyer, give a voice to that business card. So in Miss Kim Sue's case is Norman Sue Bakery in Scarborough. Everyone knows about Norman Sue Bakery. I'm sure Lalita's had Norman Sue Bakery bread before. I always have Norman Sue Bakery bread, right? So this is a great opportunity to come out again. And I know Kim has been on here.
You can see it in my cheeks. The flat bread.
The chase
She's
is
attending
okay once
school.
it's not in the waist.
It's excellent. It's excellent quality bread. We all know about it. I got to welcome the viewers on YouTube and Facebook. Guys, just a reminder, we're broadcasting live on the YouTube page. It's the Guyanese Spotlight Show. Just going on my Facebook page for now until we can go live on the Guyanese Own Business page on Facebook. Thank you guys for so much for always supporting. And I'll start off with a question. I know you both have been on here in the past, and I'm sure a lot of folks that are watching saw you on here before. To start off with Miss Lalita, just a quick intro again for maybe the first time viewers who never heard from you before or know about your services. Just a quick intro, please.
So, so I'm Lalita Premsukh, born in Guyana, migrated to Canada in the 80s because of my mom after my father was killed. I've been I've worked in several industries, including some really fun ones like wedding decorating and events planning as well. But my passion is probably still and will always be insurance and investments. So my work in Aaxel Insurance as my own brokerage, we to have every financial product you can imagine, and also home, auto, commercial business insurance. So if anyone's listening tonight, the advice I will share is general advice. If you require personal advice, please call me directly. And also, I have to say that I'm only licensed for Ontario. So any of the facts or government things that I mentioned tonight, it would be based on Ontario only. I've really enjoyed this field for a very, very long time, and I am tremendously grateful for having the most amazing clients ever. And my sources of referrals have been amazing over the years. I transitioned from RBC to cooperators and then on my own, and my clients have followed me throughout my career. And so, first of all, I'm most grateful for my clients, and I'm also most grateful to have an opportunity to help anyone in the Guyanese industry and help their young ones do some financial planning and even help themselves protect their lives, no matter which sector it is, whether it's life insurance, some investments, some retirement planning. I'd be happy to do that. Sending your kids to school, RESP. I'm really, really excited to branch out into the Guyanese community and do some help, or at least give some really solid knowledge and information that's available out there.
Appreciate that. And thanks for that, Lalita. We'll get back to I got some more questions for you. And I'm sure Miss Kim's got a few more. So Kim, if I can have you with a quick introduction as well, please.
Well, good evening once again. It's a pleasure to be back here. I think it's exactly a year since I appeared first on your show, Wasim. My name is Kim Sue, and I am the representative of Norman Sue Bakery, very proud part owner of a business that has been around for over 46 years, started by my late parents, Norman and Lynette Sue. God rest their souls. And we now carry it on. My sister Natasha and we are now the caretakers, the managers of this business, of this wonderful business, that the legacy that has been passed on to us. And we are supported by our other siblings, Nashenka, Nadia, and my brother Norman Jr. Although they're in the background, but they're still there supporting us. We are a family-owned business, and the majority of our employees are family, from our children to, you're going to laugh at this, to our grandchildren, because we do have my parents. Anyone who's looking and knows my family throughout the years knows that we've always had children in the business. They come around. My father always encouraged it. That's how we learned our culture. That's how we were taught respect of others, of our elders. And well, we're Guyanese, so we know from back home, your neighbor is your neighbor, but it ain't your neighbor. That's your aunt and your uncle. And so that is the mentality that we carry at our shop. And throughout this season, the last Christmas season, we even spoke with some customers, and they were like, these young children, they're so pleased, they're so pleasant and mannerly, and we don't see a lot of that anymore. And they were so happy to come inside the shop, and they had to wait maybe sometimes an hour for bread, but they were pleasantly surprised at how good these children took care of them. And Wasim, you know my nephew Adam.
I was just going to jump in and say it's excellent, exceptional customer service every time I go to Norman Sue Bakery. I was there the day before Christmas Eve, I think, when I spoke to you. You're extremely busy. We still
Yeah.
got a chance to speak for a couple of minutes, but yeah, the place was busy, but yeah, it was in and out in no time, thanks to the exceptional customer service at the counter there.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a great staff, and like I says, 46 years, you got to be doing something.
Yeah, you got to be doing something right to still be going, and people are still going.
Yes.
Right, you're still in business. All
Yes.
right, Kim. I got a few questions. I also got. I think I spoke to briefly before we went live. A question about a type of bread that I saw there when I was there, and I didn't know that it existed. But I think is one of your first style. I'll get back to that in a bit. But Lalita, getting back to you and the insurance business. In regards to our Guyanese community at large, are you currently in business with Guyanese companies, with individuals? How has that been?
I have a selective amount of Guyanese commercial clients, actually. Would you
Okay,
believe it? On the business side. Um,
nice.
I don't want to disclose, but I do work with quite a few Guyanese clients. Of course, I have their personal lines of business, but I'm very, very excited because I have their business insurance or the profession they're in. So it's an all-rounder for me. Um, I would say because of where I was primarily located for all my life, Kitchener-Waterloo and now Waterford, the primarily focus of the population is the GTA or Scarborough or stuff like that. So
Yeah.
in since our last show, actually, I've branched out very much so into those areas because people watched the show
Mhm.
after and called me or messaged me or whatever.
Amazing.
So it has really,
Amazing.
really helped. Funny thing, I even got asked out on a date. Anyhow,
Hey,
so it's a
you come
broad
on the show,
scope.
you never know what you're gonna
You
get.
never know what will happen. And so it's more it's a long run. It's a long show. It's part of the plan that I have. As you know, I'm raising two beautiful girls, Guyanese women. So I need to
Yeah,
incorporate that world more. And having them go to Guyana last year, it's a noticeable thing for me that we need to recognize each other as Canadians, but we're Guyanese and get into that market more. So one of the things, a couple of the cricket teams have approached me to be their sponsor. So that's something also I'm considering for this year to get more exposure in the Guyanese community. So I'm working on my part. To be honest, I would say it was a slow process, but I think I'm shifting it in high gear this year with cricket season coming up and quite a few things going on.
and we're on. You're perfect timing. I was just gonna direct that cricket stuff to Miss Kim Sue. Kim, maybe you can talk to her. You've been a big part of the softball cricket in Toronto over many years, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah, for a good while, for the better
Yeah,
part of my yeah, for a good while, and
yeah,
softball cricket and hardball cricket. But it's so strong, and it's such a display of our culture. You know, from the cricket to the after part of the cricket, because people get the camaraderie. People get together. They play dominoes. They play soccer. I mean, I've seen some amazing things with these cricket teams, and I've seen them come together in good and in bad. Because when somebody in the community is in need, I've seen them pull together because of their connections with the cricket other teams. And yes, when they're on the field, they play and they play to win. And off the field, everybody's friends
yeah.
because that's what we're about. And it's so nice that they're reaching out to you, Lalita, for sponsorship, because it's very difficult. Things have gotten very expensive, as we all know. Everyone is facing all of these things, and you know sponsorship to these teams doesn't have to be a big lump sum. People think, oh, sponsorship is $1,000, $500. But I'll tell you something, and this is something we're Guyanese. One dirty just build dam. So sometimes you look at some of these guys' uniforms and you see it's flooded with names. That's because they go out there and they get a lot of sponsors, and each sponsor will give them maybe $100 or $200, and they don't turn anyone down. Why would they? Because fees go up and they have to buy new uniforms, and they have to pay for umpires, and they have to provide water, and all of these different things. And we don't play for money at the end of the game. At the end of the year, you play for a trophy and bragging rights, which is more than the trophy, because the amount of money we spend, we could buy the trophy ourselves. But it's like raising that trophy. It's my trophy, right? I won it. I've done that.
Yeah.
My team has won it several times, right, in different divisions. But and women, we were talking about women earlier. Women are getting more and more involved in the cricket, in managing of the teams, in even getting players. And I see even in the West End now, I see they're even trying to start a women's game, a women's league. I'm a little too old for those things. The aches and pains are too much for me to go and play cricket. I can stand on the sidelines and have my adult beverage, but and cheer them on. I score too, but if you can do something for them, Lalita, it's great. I mean, I manage my own team, and my sister manages 3 teams. So yeah, we when you come to cricket, especially softball cricket, yeah, we're about that.
I would like to say, like, it's like doing business in golf, but in our version is cricket, right? There's
Correct.
a ball, there's a stick, so it's our version of golfing for business. So, and the other thing too, thank you for doing all what you do, Sue, for the sponsoring and stuff like that. The other thing is that we're carrying on the tradition to the younger people. And you will see younger women definitely on those cricket teams. But it's also that long time tradition of you have to play bat and ball. Like you have to get involved. So in Toronto and even Cambridge, like Cambridge Jaguars, which I was close to Kitchener Waterloo, and Citation, his team, it's such a thing for the community, and it's become quite a weekend tradition. Personally, I have not been involved, like I said before, but several of the captains have reached out to me recently through Facebook and my information being shared. So I look forward to considering a few of those teams as well.
That's great.
That's great. And the sponsorship, you have multiple names on the jersey. That's spotlight on your business, on your profession, whatever you're doing. There's a lot of people that goes to these cricket grounds. I've been there. I've scored with Kim on opposing teams. We sat there under our shelter from the hot sun and supported our teams. And you can tell, and you just look, and who knows? Someone might in need of insurance. Someone might be new to Toronto. Oh, there's Norman Sue Bakery, or there's a mechanic shop, or there's the Anil Sarwan's Great Canadian Oil Change around there, just on their T-shirt or jerseys. So it's great exposure for businesses by getting part of that community. And I agree with you, Kim. On the field, it's all competition. After, there's a big cookout. You hang, you lime on the weekend. You know what? You get to know people. You get to know families. Guys are showing up with their wives and kids and on the sidelines supporting them. It's a big family thing every weekend around Toronto.
Well, I will say something before we move on from the cricket. When I started to get more involved in the cricket, in the softball, and I would always take my pastries and stuff for the team, other teams. Sometimes when they have tournaments and stuff, I share pastries. And I found, not that I was looking for more business, but I found people realize that we're still there and who we are, and they put a face to a name. And so it did improve business a bit. Like I said, I wasn't there just to promote me. I was just doing it because, Wazim, we go anywhere, we always take snacks, right? So my snacks is pastries. And so it's also, you're out there, you're also networking yourself. And, it's a great thing.
Yeah.
And
it is. I got
fun too.
Yeah. In the summer, we know we live in Canada, in the Toronto area, especially after this winter. I'm looking forward to those summer months.
Oh, yeah, summer can't come fast,
Exactly. I gotta say good night to a few businesses on the check-in. Starlight Jewelry. I see Mr. Chet Ramfall from South Carolina, from Health and Safety. I'm gonna have Chet on one day. Occupational Health and Safety Consultants serving in South Carolina, Ontario. Looking forward to getting into Guyana. So Chet. Good night to you on YouTube. Facebook, I have Mr. Dan Raj from J&R Import and Exports out in Edmonton. Ravi Singh from RS Renovations. Mr. Arif, good night to you. And yeah, let's continue the conversation. Kim, there is a yellow bread. I picked it up by accident. I wasn't paying attention. I was doing the day before Christmas Eve. I grabbed a bunch of bread from my pepper pot. And then I went up to the counter and the girl's like, you sure you want a yellow bread for your pepper pot? Do you want flatbread? I looked at it. I'm like, I didn't know there was a yellow bread. What's the story behind the yellow bread at Norman Sue?
Well, the yellow bread, back when my parents started the business, um, we don't throw away things. I mean, you're now starting up, so you don't want to throw away anything. So when you make a certain amount of pastry, sometimes the pastry dough is left over. Remember, pastry is made with butter and so forth. So it's yellow. So instead of throwing it away, they used to throw it in the bread dough and mix it. So the bread would come out yellow. So it became a tradition. People used to think. I mean, before we used to put eggs in the bread, but for over 15 years, even before my father passed, we had stopped putting eggs because of all the allergies and because of federal regulations and so forth. But we still have the same taste because people don't even realize that there's no eggs in the bread, but it's completely vegetarian. Um, so that's where the yellow bread came about. And then, so we continued it on for Christmas because people would actually order. I had one customer for years since we opened the business. Her name, she just passed away actually this season gone, but her family still came and they ordered like over 20 loaves of yellow bread. And they share among the family and stuff. For me, I don't notice the difference, but they say it tastes different. So we go ahead with the yellow bread.
I gotta get it.
One customer bought because of course, we were kind of short of bread at one point in time. And they picked up that bread and we got a little complaint, but we apologize and says, come back, we'll give you back. I mean, we can't give it back to you for your pepper pot now, but this is why we ask and we put them in different bags so that you can differentiate, but we're human, right? We're just human.
Yeah, you're always gonna find that. And yeah, good night to the guys just hopping on YouTube there. Guys, just drop a comment on YouTube so I know who's watching. I can't tell. I can see we have I think we went up to 8 viewers on the YouTube channel. And I appreciate you guys on my Facebook page. If you can go over to YouTube also, drop a like, a comment just for reach. So we're trying to grow the page. Miss Lalita, just questions on insurance. I know we spoke about it in detail the last time. Just quickly for viewers tonight, there's some life insurances. There's term and whole insurance. Do you want to briefly explain the differences?
I'll go briefly on that, but I'm really excited to share something about a first home savings account tonight with everyone.
Go ahead with that first, then before we forget. Yeah,
I would share with that because it's amazing. So there's this brand new product, and it's called the first home savings account. So what's beautiful about it? It combines the benefits of an RRSP and a tax-free savings account. As you know, within the last decade or so, tax-free savings accounts have become very popular. So with the first home savings account, once you're 18 years, between 18 years and 71 years old, you're able to open a first home savings account. The maximum you can contribute every year is $8,000. One of the most amazing benefits of it is when you contribute, you get a tax write-off. And when you make your withdrawals for your first home purchase, it's also tax-free. And if you invest it correctly within some guaranteed returns, you can invest it very wisely, and your returns will be very, very amazing based on the market performance, of course. What's amazing about this, for example, if you want to start this, open this account, I'd recommend anyone that qualifies. So one of the qualifying things is 18 years to 71 years old, and you cannot have owned a home with yourself or the person you're purchasing home within the last 4 years.
Oh, okay.
So even though the title is first home savings account, you can own in your prior life. There's restrictions, of course. Personal details in each situation is different. But the beauty at the end of the day is the tax deduction to purchase the item. And then when you do your withdrawals, even your investment portions, your interest earned is tax free as well at the end. The maximum
Oh,
for the 15 years that you have to put in the account is $40,000. So, for example, your children are turning adults this year, or they've already turned adults. They turn 18, open an account for them. And even if you're not putting any money into that account this year, just leave it open. And next year they get grandma gifts, all of this. Then you would be eligible to put $16,000 in next year. And it could
okay.
be a monthly withdrawal or just a whole lump sum of money at one time. So it's a really, really nice and beautiful product.
That's great information for our viewers and for myself. I didn't know about that. Is that something new in Ontario?
I believe it came, yes. So
Okay.
last year, and it's
Okay.
really taking off. Now, having worked for the bank as well, and now in insurance, with the bank, they have certain restrictions and limited levels of how they will invest it. With an insurance company, you have the freedom to choose all of your funds that you want to take a risk on and how you want to go moderate. You want to do 75% moderate, go high risk 25%, 10%, however it goes. And the returns are pretty amazing.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. Hey, Miss Sunny, Mr. Sunny and Miss Jamila out in Orlando. Good evening, and thank you guys for popping in on the live. Guys on YouTube, drop a comment. Let me know you're there. We're speaking to tonight, as you can see on screen, Miss Kim Sue from Norman Sue Bakery and Miss Lalita Premsukh from Aaxel Insurance. And we're getting to know a little more about them, their background, and their business, what they do, and how they help out in the community. As we were just talking about a little cricket. I know a lot of folks probably jumping on and like, oh, what are we talking cricket here tonight? But I love talking cricket, especially with the World Cup coming up. I know Kim, I'm not sure, Lalita, if you're following along. The T20 World Cup is coming up.
I
And
am.
yeah, just a couple of
hard
days
not to.
away.
I got in trouble last year because I was back in Jamaica.
Oh, in the CPL.
Yes,
You
I
give up on the
was.
Warriors
But
that
no,
fast?
I have been
Well,
following. Believe it or
I
not, I
just bought
watched
my
because
tickets
of
for
my
the
youngest.
finals, for the
Oh, for
CPL finals.
Barbados. For
Yes,
Barbados. Oh,
yes,
nice, nice.
I'm there with them.
You
Yeah.
need anyone to carry your bag?
Pardon me?
You need anyone to carry your bags?
No, I don't walk with bags there. I just walk with my half a sock and my bathing suit.
That's amazing. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, it's a good big group of us. I travel with a group of cricketers and friends, and so they go to every year they change islands and do play cricket. So some of them bring their wives and make it a vacation. Well, I'm always the cheerleader, so so I go with them, and then they says, "Well, yeah, it's Barbados this year. We going?" Says, "Okay, book it." They
Nice.
did all. We have a great manager. He does all the groundwork, and just says, "This is it. There's the travel agent. Pay your money, and let's go." And then he said, put up on the chat, tickets go on sale today. Only 24 hours on top of that. So we're all booked.
Nice.
Tickets
I've got
bought.
some
So, yeah.
friends. I've got some friends going in October, I believe it is. It's bad for me that month. Only once I've ever been to CPL was Trinidad in 2019 before the pandemic. Because with my line of work, I'm busy from October to March, April.
This
So
was in
there's no.
September, was him.
Well, start of winter, yeah. September,
Yeah.
October, it's kind of busy for me. So unfortunately, I don't get a chance to go. But I'll see. I got a good friends, Rack and those guys. They're planning on going down, so I'll see last
I'm
minute
pretty
if I
sure
can
we'll
make
all
it.
meet up down there.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
Wasn't
pretty
you've
sure
got
you guys will.
connections. Ask them to pull it forward to like last week of August into September. So you
I don't
can
have that much connections. I would change it to summer for me if I had connections. July and August would work perfect for me. Hey, Starlight Jewelry just hopped over onto YouTube. Thank you guys. Remember, next week we'll be speaking to Starlight Jewelry just in time for Valentine's. And the ladies on screen, they're already decked out in their red in preparation for Valentine's. So
Sending a
Starlight
message.
Jewelry, send it a message.
send me a
Yeah.
message.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful. And Kim, we spoke the last time about the history of Norman Sue Bakery. You have a lot of people. I actually spoke to a woman when I was leaving there over the holidays. We were walking out, and she overheard our conversation, and she's like, "What do you do?" When we were talking about promoting the business and coming on this show, that's when we booked it. I think it was the 22nd of
Right,
December to come on
right, right.
tonight. And she said she's been going there for 40 years. You know what? I remembered her name and I was going to get into the vehicle and put it in the notes so I could mention it tonight, and I totally forgot. But I know you have a lot of long-time customers. What's the longest you still have customers from how long ago you can remember, you can recall?
Well, I have customers from the first year that we opened up,
And
and
that was?
he is now 80 years old. Every Christmas, well, he comes in on a regular basis. Um, his name is Big John. We call him Big John. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's in his 80s. And every time I see him, every Christmas I see him, I have to stop what I'm doing and I go and give him a big hug because his
Amazing.
brother-in-law, his sisters, I mean, and some of them, of course, they're passed, but he's still around and he still tracks it out and he still comes and buys bread for everyone. And I mean, he's 80 something years old and he knew me since I was a teenager, like the business first
Wow.
started. And so,
Wow.
yeah, he's been with us throughout all the years. And there's a few more of them. Unfortunately, a lot of them have passed. But it's so good to know that even though that generation has gone on, that their kids and their grandchildren are still looking for Norman Sue products.
Yeah. Yeah. And the
And
woman
that's
I
to show you,
spoke
that's how
to,
come we've been around for 46 years.
yeah, your quality, the service, as I mentioned, the service is exceptional. I always have a good experience when I get there or when I go there, and everyone that I've put on to go visit you and get, whether it be bread. Now you're into, there's other products. Anil was talking about dal puri, right?
Well, Dalpuri, we've been with Dalpuri from the
For
get-go,
a while.
um,
Okay.
from the start. But
With certain days,
pardon me?
certain
Yes,
days,
yes.
or yeah, 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 yeah.
7 days a week. Well, not 7 days a week
Okay.
because I only open six. But
Okay.
every day
You
you can
have,
get hot dog. But what happened is now it's more prominent. Well, people are busy. And so
mhm.
because it's in the more, we're in more grocery stores like the No Frills and the Freshco and the Chinese Jinghing and Skyland and so forth. You could pick up Dalpuri inside the stores
Yeah.
in their freezing department or the fridge department. You can buy them threes and well, they're packaged in threes. And so you don't have to come to the shop. And I've been
Mhm.
told, and not that I'm boasting, but you can reheat those things. You heat it up on the towel and it's just like fresh, like if you just made it fresh or the microwave. But I prefer the towel because it gives it the more
Yeah.
direct flavor. I don't really
Yeah.
like
Tao,
microwave.
yeah, Tao is the best. Like when I get the bread from you, I told you my kids,
Tower
they
bread.
love toast bread. Put some butter
Yeah.
on there, well toasted. I would
Well,
say
I
like
have
slightly burnt.
Yeah, so you're going back there. I have one of my sisters in-laws, and he always comes to the shop to pick up bread. So there was this one day he felt like eating bread. The shop is closed, but he wanted to eat bread and tea. So he went to No Frills and he picked
Uh-huh.
up the bread. He said, I ate the whole thing with tea,
The whole loaf of
tower
bread
bread,
with tea. Tao,
the
yeah,
whole loaf
yeah.
of bread with tea.
You can't go wrong with tower bread, right,
Yeah.
Lalita?
He satisfied his craving with the whole bread. I'll tell you a funny story about bread and flatbread. So I've been feeding my kids since they were born, and my brother started cooking in the past 5 years or so, and he toasted tawa bread for my children. Apparently, I can't toast bread anymore. They will only eat their Uncle Boise's toast bread. all the time. So apparently I've forgotten. I don't know how to do it properly like he does. So I'm banned from making tawa bread now. So I make it for myself.
Yeah, it's the best. It's the best. You can't go wrong. I have a
Yeah, and
toaster. I don't know when last I used the
my
toaster.
tawa is really old too. I treasure it. I treasure it.
That's the best tower. The old looking ones. You know
Yes,
you've
yeah,
been using it. Yeah.
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 Well, they're made with iron as opposed to the aluminum. It gives it a different flavor.
The heavy,
It
it is
really
solid.
does.
Yeah, yeah. It lasts long.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So
But when you're
so yeah.
talking about the different products, remember, I want people to remember, and you're coming on to um, Eid and different events and stuff. But we do make cocktail pastries also, which is the smaller version of your pastry, but it's bite sized. So it's easy to
Yeah.
serve if you're entertaining or if you have a wedding. I do a lot of the banquet halls. They use a lot of the dessert Guyanese desserts because they're using West Indian um, dinner plan.
Okay.
So excuse me. So they order the pastries for their desserts as opposed to buying cheesecakes and all of those things.
Yeah.
And so it's available at the shop. You know, you can call and you can ask for and there's a minimum amount because, of course, it's a specialty made product, but it's available.
Okay. Anno mentioned that. He said he's picked up that for his staff. Bless you. He's picked up that for his staff in the past. The bite-sized pine tart and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
But Anil also has been privy to my large pine tart, which I made him for his birthday, one of his birthdays.
Oh,
So
he
I
did
made a
mention that.
large size pine tart. It's not the first time I've done it. I made it for one person. And this guy, he says, it's an older man. He says, I enjoyed it so much. I had it for a whole month. Every day I ate a little piece. But you know,
Okay.
as opposed to a birthday cake.
Yeah.
It's something that we do too also.
Let me message you my birthday because if Anno get it, I gotta get a hookups too. Come on.
I'm
You
thinking
and Anil
Annelle's
always
getting
fighting
all
with
this
this thing.
special orders. She's getting all these special orders. Wasm, you got to get in there.
Yeah, yeah. I gotta talk to Anil. Anil is always beating me to the punch. He's closer to you, so he's
Yeah,
always around
well,
there, right?
he's
Yeah.
a
His
great
business is.
guy. He
Oh yeah.
always promotes and promotes us, and you know, always serving the community also too. Because anytime I'm part of all of these different organizations, and anytime I call on him for a sponsorship, and I just messaged him today for a sponsorship for the Guyana Independence Festival again, and he jumped on
Okay.
board alongside with us. You know.
Yeah, yeah. And Lalita is from she knows Anil too, right? You've done business in the past with Anil, or currently, I'm not sure, but I know you know
Yeah,
Anil.
a lot. Most of the Ontario the great oil change, the Great Canadian Oil Change guys, I do
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
business with them. Yes.
Okay, and Lolita, as we are on the insurance topic, how often should someone like review or update their insurance coverage? Let's say a personal insurance coverage. I have an insurance plan. How often should I review or update it? Is it worth updating it?
Your life insurance or
Yeah,
your
life
property
insurance,
insurance?
life
Life
insurance.
insurance? A lot of things can change when you have a life insurance policy. Suppose you're single, you and your wife, husband and wife, no kids as yet. When the
Yeah.
children are born, you need to update it if you plan to include them in as your beneficiaries and stuff. Even when these days many people are separating as well. When you do separate, you need to take a
Hmm.
look at your beneficiaries and stuff. Also, your life can change. So when you took out a $1 million policy and your mortgage was at $1 million, luckily don't cancel any insurance if you qualify for $1 million and you have a policy in place, but your life can change. So for example, most people don't need to buy like the $5 million policies or anything. I recommend
Hmm.
everyone to have permanent insurance when they can qualify, which is a whole life universal life insurance. I recommend that to anyone, even if it's $100,000. I recommend you put that in the bag. But one of the things that we go through in life is if you're taking out a mortgage or if you have car payments or if you're forecasting your children are going to be educated, you should
Yeah.
also have an insurance policy for that. Could be a term insurance in the event that you do pass, that your mortgage will be handled, your children's education would be taken care of, the car payments. Because when you pass, the car payments doesn't go away or all of
Yeah.
your expenses doesn't go away. So the purpose of the life insurance, if you're carrying the mortgage, Because normally what happens if one of those spouses pass away, uh, and you have mortgage insurance, the bank gets paid for it first. So then for the
Okay.
spouse to become comfortable, or if they want access to the money, they would probably have to sell the home, right?
Yeah.
So it's always important to revisit your insurance, maybe every second year, every third year. But again, I highly recommend if you qualify for permanent insurance, do it as early as possible. Everyone can reach out to me. I'd be happy to share some more information. But term life serves as a product to, if you have high debts or if you have things that are on a payment schedule, should something happen, you have something to clear those debts out. And it is a
Okay.
cheaper product than a permanent product as well. But review it. I wish I could say that in our industry that advisors call on their clients every year, but sometimes we don't. I personally call my clients more than once a year. But reach out to your clients because lots of things can change. They can become grandparents. Lots and lots of things can change, and they want to extend their their education and having life insurance and the purpose of it.
Okay, excellent. And I got to say, welcome to Ravi, Miss Malini, Dinesh, Miss Sandra. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Guys, remember, if it's the first time you're watching this, this show is called the Guyanese Spotlight Show. We aim at highlighting, promoting, and spotlighting our Guyanese professionals within the community or businesses. And I had a conversation with Miss Kim and Miss Lalita just before we hit the go live button on this. And we're talking about that within our community. Some people are reaching out, they want to come on, and maybe they're part of an organization. I forgot who it was. One of you mentioned that. Let's say, for example, my good friend, you guys know him, Rishi Singh, was on the show. He's a Guyanese, he's a real estate agent working on behalf of Remax, but he's a professional. That's his thing. He's an agent on behalf of this larger company. So he's a Guyanese professional in the community and stuff like that. Miss Akila is a travel agent for 40 something years. She works for Travel Point. She works for a larger company out there, which is not Guyanese, but she is Guyanese. And that's what I want to promote on this page and our YouTube channel with these live chats every Wednesday night. What do you guys think about that? You think that's something that's kind of deterring people from not coming on because they're part of a Canadian company and they're Guyanese? Miss Kim, what are your thoughts first on that?
It could very well be possible, but people have to understand, and just what you said, you're here to promote Guyanese business. Sometimes we ourselves, these salespeople, these real estate agents, even the insurance agent, um, we're professionals, and so we are the product. We're Guyanese, so we still serve. We still serve you. Now, I could turn. I mean, my clientele is predominantly Guyanese. But I serve Trinidadians, I serve Sri Lankans, I serve China, I serve everyone. But that doesn't say that my business, because I serve somebody else, that
Yeah.
I didn't work to get where I am today. This is what you're trying to show. This is what this show is about, showcasing our accomplishments. We've migrated from our homeland into different, whether it's New York, England, Toronto, or even stayed in Guyana, but we built ourselves up to be accomplished and we're proud of it. And so you need to bring that pride on and showcase that. If you're selling, if you're your product, if you're your own product, sell it, promote it,
Hmm.
be proud of it. Don't be afraid.
Well said. Lalita, want to add anything to that?
As we were discussing earlier, same notion, like you were mentioning Rishi. Even though his brand is Remax, he is the business. Rishi is
Hmm.
the business. And so I think that message needs to be strongly communicated again or repeated again. So as Guyanese professionals, we're luckily maybe 70% of the people that you speak to that you've had on as guests, we actually own our own business. But it doesn't matter if it's a brand or Remax or Blockbuster or whatever. I'm just joking
Yeah.
about Blockbuster. Just invite everyone
Yeah.
to come on to share their knowledge, share their experience. Um, being of a Guyanese descent, there is this tremendous like bulk of experience that you bring to the ground because you had to survive so much. And then take that child out of Guyana, you migrate to Canada, the US, you're in Florida, you're in Toronto, in my case, Waterford. That bulk and that upbringing and that knowledge, it makes us masterminds in business, in the business world. And I
Hmm.
will hands down tell anyone, if you're raised in the Caribbean, and most, I will pick up Guyana, you have this business background without even attending high school. Because most households are
Yes.
raised that way. We're raised on survival. We were surviving. Now, our generation here in North America, we're enjoying a little bit and we're preparing
Yes.
things for our kids. So that widespread um, love that we receive in Guyana, we share it in our business every day. We share that love with our clients. Because I'll tell
Yeah,
you,
Yes.
there's no hospitality like a Guyanese hospitality, right?
correct.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Oh,
Yes. You can
but
say that. You can say
actually, the
that
other
again.
thing as well, I want to reiterate for all the women who are watching today, or their spouses, or someone who will share this message with them. Women, we are finding our voices, and it is so important to uplift each other in this business as well. What, regardless of what business, if they're making a mistake or they're not performing well or whatever, it is our job as other women to uplift them and help them understand the world that we're functioning in, because we're almost equal. We're not as quite equal as yet. We're almost equal. And we have to encourage each other. Men have been doing it for years with golfing and boardroom meetings and going out for beers on a Friday night after a long day at work. It's our time as well. We have to uplift these women. And if people are not feeling confident, reach out to Kim, reach out to me, reach out to another woman in the group on a private phone call. And we will get this done and we will help elevate all the women that are Guyanese owned business.
Yeah,
Awesome.
most definitely.
Yeah. And
Most definitely.
I got a quick comment in the chat, Mr. Chet Ramfall. I'm just gonna put it up here. Chet, he's migrated now. He's living in the States. He said, Lalita, he's seen your office in Waterford. How long have you been in Waterford, Lalita? I know you've answered this
Four and
before,
a
but
half years.
four and a
Four and
half
a half
years, Chet.
years.
Okay, 4.5 years,
Is he
Chet.
familiar with Waterford?
Yeah, he's from Brantford. That's close, right? Is
Oh,
it? I've been to
yes,
his place
it
many
is.
years
20
ago.
minutes from me. That's amazing.
Yes, yes. He got away from the cold. He's in South Carolina, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong,
Oh,
Chet. I'm gonna
good
have
for
him one
him.
night on the show. Yeah, he's in South Carolina now. So, and Kim, I really got to thank both of you for coming on. I know Lolita just spoke about the backstory of everyone. You had an amazing and incredible story about your family coming to Canada way back when Guyanese were like just a handful of us over here back then.
Yeah.
You want to just briefly just remind us about that because I found it interesting and motivating at the same time.
Well, our business started back in the 70s, and it started. My parents migrate. My dad came over, and then my mom and I followed suit about a year after, and we lived with family before they bought their first house. And then my uncle, they had a business back home. They had bakery back home. My uncle came over for a visit. My dad used to deal with the machinery and stuff, so he used to help him fix up machines and send it back home to him. And he came over and he says, asked my mom, my uncle's name was Neville. He says, Lynn, what do you want to eat? Let me bake you something. So he baked bread one day, the next day he baked tennis rolls, and he would continue on different things, different products. But I mean, we were a family of three or four. Maybe it was what, six of us with my grandmother and my uncles. You can't eat that much. So we call up everybody. Well, in the 70s, every Guyanese, or if you didn't know them, you hold on to them because they're Guyanese, right? You're just
Yeah,
glad to see a Guyanese person. So Uncle Never used to give away the products and stuff like that. And he used to do it all because he was up here for a little bit. And somebody turned and says, no, 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 no. These things cost money. These guys just buy the house and stuff. We can't keep taking this thing. And they started paying him for it. And before long, our tennis table in the basement became the table to put tennis rolls on it, cover it with plastic, and raise overnight. I almost lost my hand because I was putting the mix in the mixing bowl, and the pan the mixing pan fall in, and I pushed my hand to take it out, and my mother pulled me away. That's the story of that's our starting story. We started in by Birchmount and the 401. We had a semi-detached house, and when the neighbors, there was one other Indian family up the road from us and us. Everybody else was white. And when they saw the flour, we started to buy. We couldn't buy flour from from Nob Hill Farms at the time. We couldn't buy flour from there anymore because it was too little bit. We started getting flour from the flour company, and so when the truck came in, because it's a big truck, the people then reported us. So then we had to move from the house. That's when we got our first place, right there behind SARS by Nantucket. They rented a place there and moved. It was called Sue Brothers Bakery. And from there, my parents separated from my uncle and started Norman Sue 46 years ago. And from since
46
then,
years. Wow.
yeah, people used to think my mom's name was Sue because it was Norman and Sue. But Norman Sue, actually, our last name is Sue Cam Ling. But Daddy shortened it and Sue was easier to call, right?
Yeah.
And today, we all grew up in the business. But my other three siblings, my youngest siblings, they work outside in the different fields. And Natasha and myself, I was groomed in the business. And then Natasha, she's actually an accountant by trade, but she had lots of children, and she didn't want to send her children to daycare and so forth. And they were all very close by. As you see, the children are in the shop. So she decided to stay in the business and put her expertise there and raise her children. So that's our story.
Yeah.
And now we're finally at our home. I don't believe we will move it. Well, while I'm still around, we will stay stable at 1220 Ellesmere. We moved from my parents started the business at Kennedy and St. Clair, 553 Kennedy Road. And we were the yellow and black sign right across from the cemetery. And I grew up there. That's where I grew up. And then we moved to Ellesmere Road, and that's home for us now for over 30 years.
Over 30 years. Since I've came to Canada, Norman Sue Bakery, I knew about Norman Sue Bakery. I've always been going to Norman Sue Bakery. And pretty much everyone I talk to, especially in the Guyanese community, Norman Sue Bakery is a household name.
Yeah. And one thing I want to encourage people who do have their own business to stay with it. When my parents, we can say now business is difficult. COVID has made things more difficult, and the remnants post-COVID, it's really hard to pick up. But I believe, and I've been doing a lot of thinking on it, that every area has a different challenge. COVID is our challenge, and fixing that up is our challenge. My parents' challenge was starting up the business. And those times interest rates were very high. You couldn't get money. Immigrants weren't getting money. There were a lot of doors they had to knock on and to close, and a lot of doors that were closed on them. So that was their COVID. But I want to stress, and I want to plead to our clients, to our customers. When you go somewhere and you're going to a restaurant or to a bar or to my bakery, or you're looking for insurance, the prices we're giving you, they're bottom line, their prices. You have to remember that we have to make something too. We're not going to want to gouge you, but you have to remember it's not just the cost of the products, because we have our bills to pay too outside of the ingredients for the products. We have our insurance, we have our overhead. And so when a bag of potato may cost $4, and when you calculate, I'm making $8 off of it. That money goes to run the business. That money goes to pay the lights and the insurance, and we have a lot of federal taxes and so forth. So please, when you go out to these establishments, please respect the people's prices, because we cannot go and haggle with No Frills or Walmart or, I mean, we go and haggle at Leon's and stuff like that. But we go to Michael Kors and we go to these big name brands and we pay to advertise their name, but we're not haggling with them. Why would you want to come and haggle with your own Guyanese people who are struggling to provide you with your own culture? So please think about that.
Yeah, well said. Lalita, you want to add anything to that
On
in
the
regards
same
to
note,
insurance?
when people call for insurance, especially home and auto insurance, and
Mhm.
as you know, Brampton is a very high risk market and stuff. And
Yeah.
someone has two cars and a home, and you quote them 4,000 for the two cars and like 1,500 for the home, and they start questioning you because online says you could get it for less. Here's the thing, and I'm going to give you just an example for 5 years. You're paying $4,000 per year for 5 years. That's $20,000. Say you should crash into another person or whatever. Most times it costs about $20,000 or $30,000 to repair that car. Home
Mhm.
insurance is another one. Most people talk about how massively expensive it is. However, if you have a flood or a sewer backup, none of those claims are like $5,000. It's usually 10, 20, 30, $40,000. So over the span of your lifetime, you're paying a small premium for massive, massive payouts. And with, like Kim said, they'll come to you and say, well, you're too expensive. Well, that's okay. I'm giving you the right coverage for the right price. It's okay if you want to go online or to the guy that's cheaper, but I am not selling you a product that's not going to cover your needs or cover the full replacement cost of your home or cover the mortgage on your home, your replacement cost of your home. I'm not the right broker. So I invite those people to go elsewhere for the cheap pricing because I have to protect my license and advise them and give them the right products that will cover them. So when I go to bed and sleep, I don't have to worry that I did a mediocre policy and what's going to happen in 2 weeks.
Mhm.
But back to Sue's comment, isn't it interesting how we only haggle our own? What is this spread too much, or this insurance is too much, or this is too much?
Yeah.
Like, so I invite everyone to start respecting the business owners as well, because Sue, I can tell you, Kim Sue, I can tell you, your insurance alone for your business is probably half your profits. So, it's a lot. It's a lot that goes into
A lot
running
of
your
overhead
businesses.
expenses. Yeah. And I hope our
Right.
community realize that and keep supporting. And that's what this platform is, support. If it's new, if it's the first time you're hearing about Kim Sue and Norman Sue Bakery or Miss Lalita, please reach out to them. Their information is on the page. I've been sharing their contact information throughout our conversation here tonight. But go to the page, get in touch with them. Visit Norman Sue Bakery at 1220 Ellesmere Road and see all their products that they have on display. As Miss Kim said, they offer this bite-sized pastries for events or for staff parties, for whatever you have. Just reach out to them. They do dal puri. What else? I'm going to get hungry saying it. I'll let you go ahead and I'll share your information on screen.
Well, we have on the weekends, we have weekend specials: bacon saltfish, fish cakes, egg balls, black pudding, and also, for your catering needs, if you ever need like curry or cook-up rice. I know Wazim Anil was telling you about a last minute catering I had for a gentleman, and as SARS was coming in to pick up his stuff, he saw the man picking up his cook-up rice,
Yes.
and we do black cake, and on outside of Christmas, black cake and sponge cake is only on order. So, we've got you covered. If you want to throw a dinner party, I have you covered from the dinner, appetizers, right through to the dessert.
Amazing. And you can see Miss Kim's numbers on there. So your cell phone number is 416-275-4158. Is that correct?
That is my personal line, yes.
Okay, and the bakery's number now, you can get in touch with them directly at 416-754-4181. If you prefer, you can send an email to kimsue@rogers.com. And Kim, you just mentioned you do catering. Let's say I'm catering for 50 to 100 people at work. How what's your heads up you need? How long before I need to give you a call?
I really like to have at least a week's notice
A
so that
week's
we can
notice.
plan the proper menu and so forth.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. And
Now I'm really
no,
hungry.
I am. I haven't had dinner. I'm waiting after this. I'm gonna have dinner now. I'm gonna want to go to Norman Sue Bakery tomorrow. And they're located at 1220 Ellesmere Road, Unit 30 in Scarborough. And you can also check out. Is the website? I know you were doing some work on the website. Is it up?
Their website is still under construction, so
Okay.
hopefully we'll get something up and running by springtime.
Okay. The best thing, you know what? Don't go to the website. Go directly to 1220 Ellesmere Road, Unit
Yes.
30, and get your stuff there. Visit
Or
Norman Sue
listen to
Bakery.
Wazim's show.
Yeah, get hungry like me right now. I'm putting myself through this torture right now. So I'm going to go over to you, Lalita. I'm going to have your information out here. If you can go ahead with all your contact info and all the different type of insurance that you offer at Aaxel.
Yeah, so everyone trusts me with their insurance. So personal insurance, home, auto, their business, commercial, and then on the life and investment side, all of your life insurance need, your critical illness, your disability insurance, any RSPs, RESP for your kids, and the newest one is the first home savings account. But honestly, I don't want you to go to a website. Don't go to anyone. Just pick up the phone and call me so we can have a real conversation. And I can be reached at 519-500-1025. And I look forward to hearing from everyone.
Awesome, guys. I hope you reach out to Lalita, reach out to Kim, support all the other businesses here on the platform. It's the Guyanese Owned Businesses page on Facebook, on YouTube, our channel. I got a few viewers on YouTube right now. Got to say goodnight to you guys. It's the Guyanese Spotlight Show. Every Wednesday night at 7 p.m., we'll have guests on. As you can tell tonight, it's Miss Kim and Miss Lalita. Next week, we're talking to Starlight Jewelry. Just in time for Valentine's Day. They do ship across North America, and also in Guyana, there's an agent out there. So we'll be speaking to them. They currently have a nice sale going on. I'll have the flyer up on our page tomorrow. So tune in next week, Wednesday, as we talk with Starlight Jewelry. I got to say goodnight to Mr. Adrian Chandapal from Deluxe Car and Truck Rentals out in Orlando. Just hopped on Facebook there. Good night to you and the family, Adrian. Thank you for supporting as always. It's just after 8 o'clock. I know we started a couple of minutes after 7 tonight, Eastern time. Guys, both of you, starting off with you, Miss Lalita, any final words? Did we miss anything? Is there something else you'd like to inform the viewers about?
No, I would like to give a hats off to yourself for your
No
continued
worries, you're
hard work
welcome.
on supporting the communities. As you know, I'm probably one of your biggest fan on your radio station as well. My kids
Appreciate
tell me
that.
you have to put some new songs on there, but it's okay. It keeps me busy through my workday. But sincerely, call me for any of your home and auto insurance. It doesn't have to be because you want to do business for me. I'm happy to give you some solid advice. And I really appreciate the opportunity to be part of this and for sharing this news again with the beautiful Kim Sue.
Thanks, Lalita. Kim,
Well, thank you again, Wazim, and my
my
sentiments
pleasure.
exactly to you, Lalita. It was a pleasure sharing this time with you and learning a lot about the insurance too. Because I know a little bit about the insurance, and but some of the products you mentioned, it's very refreshing. And Wazim, as always, you've done a wonderful job, and I
Thank you.
applaud you for starting up this platform. I know last year you continued what you had started many years ago, and we get busy, and so
Mhm.
we try to pass the torch, and
Yes.
sometimes the torch doesn't light the way we expected it to light, and so we light another torch. And so
Yeah.
kudos to you for lighting that next torch and continuing on the work that you had originally started.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations to you, and I wish you and all Guyanese businesses all the best of luck.
Yeah, thank you, Kim. And without you guys out there, I wouldn't have this show, right? For your support and everything. And I'm doing this to bring our community together, to make it stronger. We've seen especially in the Toronto area, we're all three of us, we live around the area, and we notice other communities are coming in from other countries, other parts of the world, and they're closer knit community than we are. We're always arguing, quarreling with each other, and fighting on social media. We want to get away from that, and we want to put this for kids, and as you said, Kim, grandkids coming up, an
Yes.
example that we can work together and we can build a community that they can be proud of years down the road. they can be
Correct.
proud to be part of that culture and that community. So I got to thank both of you so much tonight for coming on. Got to thank our viewers on Facebook and on YouTube as well. Thank you as always. And for those of you that will be watching at a later date, please share it with your family and friends. If you're a professional in the community, if you're a business owner in our Guyanese community, whether you're in Guyana, Trinidad, the UK, the US, or here in Canada, anywhere, doesn't matter what type of service or products you have, reach out to me and we'll promote it for free. There's no cost at all to come on here and give a voice to your business. So, ladies, thank you so much. You guys have a blessed night and take care and appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you.
Good night,
Good evening, everyone.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Thank you and goodbye. Until next week, Wednesday night, I'll be speaking to Mr. Nez and Amir from Starlight Jewelry. Guys, have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your week. Goodbye.